Buongiorno. Hello, everyone. Hi. Can you see me? Can you hear me? Is everything okay? If everything is okay, just type in the chat, okay? And we will move on. We'll dive into the enriched sourdough baking. We have so many things to do today. It will be a wonderful masterclass where we'll do so much of practice. There will be a little bit of theory and lots of practice. All is great. Fantastic. So if your connection is not okay, just reload the page, okay? Because most of the people typed okay. That means that we have all the internet connection and everything is working well on our side. So if something doesn't work, just reload the page. So today we're going to bake together cinnamon rolls. And they're not just simple cinnamon rolls. They're cinnamon rolls made with special sourdough starter, lievito madre. Have you ever heard of it? We will chat for about 2 hours today. It's a little bit longer than our regular master classes because we have many things to do and I want to show you many practical tips, okay? Right here, live. Oh, amazing. So you know this fantastic sourdough starter. Let me show you. I see many of you typed yes, meaning that you know this starter. This is how it looks, and we will talk about it today. And using this starter, I prepared the dough, and we will bake it together today. We will bake cinnamon rolls made with this starter. And I will show you how to make this sourdough starter from scratch, from zero. 2 hours, oh my God. Too long or too short? So we will make together sourdough starter that is called lievito madre from scratch. And that will be our first step that we will make together today. I started my lievito madre 3 days ago. Fantastic. I will talk also about mistakes and things that you should avoid while making your starter, because it is not a secret how to make sourdough starter. Recipe is everywhere. You can Google it. You can ask ChatGPT to tell you how to make a starter. But there are nuances that make a difference, because starter can be a weak starter that doesn't rise your dough, and starter can be a fast, strong, robust starter. And there are differences in making it from scratch, in building it from scratch. And I will pay your attention to these important details today. And these details don't come from just knowledge. They come from practice, from years of practice of mine, also years of practice of my students in my school that is called Oh My Bread. And nowadays, there are thousands and thousands, more than 20,000 people use my recipes, and they bake fantastic pastries and bread and pizza around the world, all sourdough only. How many days until lievito madre is ready to be used? We will talk about everything step by step, okay? And as I said, today together we will bake cinnamon rolls using this starter. And I will answer some of your questions by the way, while I'm explaining some topic of the program that I prepared for you. And the most part of your questions, I will leave to the end of this masterclass, of this live masterclass, okay? So we can chat in the end when all the program is done. we made all our practices together, and then we can just chat. You can answer all your questions, and I'm here for you. I'm very happy to see you all, and I'm sure you will enjoy it, and I'm sure you will try to bake your cinnamon rolls, or you will improve your result. And it's not a lecture, it's communication. So I'm happy to see you're very active. I'm always reading your chat. So don't be shy, ask any questions. Perfect. Great, sounds good. And just to show you some immediately some works of my students that I was talking about. Those works are works of people, cinnamon rolls of people who never baked before. So I just want to encourage you that even if you never baked anything before, you can do it. You can manage. It's not that complicated. Just the most important thing I would say from the beginning, just straight away, 99% of your success, even 9.999% of your success depends on the quality of your starter, depends on the quality of your lievito madre. And if your starter doesn't feel well, dough will never rise. Especially this kind of dough, when we use butter, when we use sugar, when we use yolk, when we use egg. For yeast, for natural yeast that live in your starter, it is a heavy product that is difficult to rise. But if your starter feels good, it's not a problem at all. There's a problem for the weak starter. And if your starter is weak, you can still make some bread. It will be some okay bread, okay loaf. But the real exam for your starter is enriched dough, full of butter, full of sugar, full of egg. And if you want to bake a very soft pastry with beautiful flavor, beautiful taste, you need to have a strong starter. There is no other way. Otherwise, use industrial yeast, which is not good for your health, right? Today, we will also talk about why do we choose starters? Why do we choose sourdough? And by the end of masterclass, I will give you 2 bonus recipes. You will have my recipe of lievito madre, Italian starter. I'm here in Italy right now in Milano, and lievito madre is Italian starter, and you will get it from me in English, and you can make it by yourself, okay? And also you'll get a recipe of these cinnamon rolls that we will bake together today. You can just download and use it anytime you want. So stay here until the end with me, and you will get these bonuses, okay? And before we start, I want to know you better. If you're just starting, if you have never baked before, if you're a beginner, type 1. And if you have tried already something, you tried to bake bread, for instance, and now you want to learn how to make a pastry with enriched dough with sourdough starters, then type 2. And if you're an experienced baker and you are here just to share your experience with me and just to join this community, type 3. Hi, experienced baker. I see you. Hello. Many people who have tried already, and many. And also I see beginners. Fantastic. We're all mixed today. Normally, I see many 2 and 1. Normally, we have more people who have never tried anything before, and some who tried already. And today it's wonderful. I see that it's a different audience. We have many bakers here, many enthusiasts who use already sourdough starters. Fantastic. I'm very happy. Hello, everyone. And a couple of words about me. Let me know if you know me already, if you have visited my masterclasses before or you're a student of mine. So I will make this story short. And my name is Anna. I live in Italy, and I'm mother of 3. And I have never been baker before I became mother. I'm not from bakers, like it happens quite often that in Italy bakers come from family of bakers. I don't come from family of bakers. I never learned it from childhood. I am I am a baker who learned everything on her own. And it was not an easy way, but I dedicated myself to it because of health condition of my first child. Pediatrician told me that uh, if I want to have a healthy child, I should avoid bread and baked goods in his diet, and mine too. I was shocked because I love bread and I wanted to learn to bake it actually, and I didn't want to give up at all. I saw you first on Instagram. Great. I'm your student. Hi. Happy to see you. Student of yours. Nice. Always happy to see my students. Perfect. I tried to make a sourdough bread only from your PTSD instruction from workshop link this like this, and it turned out fantastic. Thanks, Anna. Yeah, my recipes are really tried and true. They are not just some recipes. There's recipes that were in practice, in baking practice for years. Every single detail on these recipes is on its place. And, it's been changed a lot while I was perfecting it and my students were perfecting it. And then now you will get like the best version of it. So it is just that good that even beginner, even someone who never baked before can bake from this recipe. Okay, so back to my story. I started to my own research because I was like, I will not give up baking. I will not give up eating baked goods. But how can I make it healthy? I read your stories. I know you from Instagram. I'm 16. I want to bake healthy for my family. So sweet. So, to make the story short, I started to bake because I learned that sourdough bread is much healthier than regular bread. And my pediatrician was right, saying, not mine, pediatrician of my child was right, saying that store-bought bread is not good for you. But there is a big difference between sourdough bread that you make with your hands and bread that you buy in the store. And here's my first love. This picture, I was so happy. Like I literally cried when I took it out. I was so happy. It's like childbirth experience. I made my bread, my sourdough bread. And then my journey started and it was not easy. I even cried several times because it didn't turn out like it was not it was not open crumb at all, and the ear was flat and it was dense. I had many problems with bread because I learned every single thing on my own before I joined like professional courses and I decided to be a baker. But before that, I finally managed to get a good result. And then I dedicated myself to baking and started being a baker actually, and started to teach other people because once you learn something, I'm this kind of person who once learned something, I want to share with others. There's no way that I don't share. I'm so happy to share information, to share tips, and here I am. What about your stories? Why do you choose sourdough? Why do you want to bake? Like many of people come to my school because they want to bake something healthy for their family or for themselves or for them, for their loved ones. And then we stay here because we really enjoy the process and we enjoy the beauty of sourdough baking. I also learned on my own. Andrea is writing. Yeah, it's not easy, right? It's not easy. It's a hard way. I bake because of my wife. She homesick. Yeah. Yeah, we are here because of the healthy reasons, right? We start from there, but then we really start enjoying it because it's something that slows you down. You get connected with your body, with you get connected with the nature, with dough, and you really enjoy the result. And then you're very curious every time. You want to make it better and better. That's why we never stop and we bake and bake and bake. And we start with bread, and then move to um, we move to different type of baked goods like sweet baking, sweet pastry baking, sourdough baking. And there is a myth, by the way, that says that sourdough starter is good only for bread and is not good for pastry. It's not true. Well, that means, you know where it comes from, this myth? It comes from slow and weak starters. Because if the starter, as I said before in the beginning of this masterclass, if your starter doesn't feel good, if it's quite weak, not strong enough, you can still bake some bread and it will be eatable. It won't be fantastic, but it will be okay. But it will never rise the dough with butter, sugar, enriched, a sweet dough. So sweet dough is a test for your starter actually. And I'm going to show you how to make a strong starter. And you can bake everything using this starter. Lievito madre is actually a universal starter that you can use for any kind of baking, also for bread. I love good bread and I want to start my own business with good cause. Great, great idea, great motivation. Sourdough discard makes wonderful pancakes. Mhm. To learn clean and healthy cooking for my family. I'm new at this, but with your help, I hope to be baking soon. You will, for sure. You're at the right place, the right moment. You will start from here, I'm telling you. So to get back to my story, I started to join different master classes and meet people and collecting all the tips, all every strategies in baking, recipes, and collecting, and trying, and adopting for every flour that it has to be okay for any flour in the world because my school is international and I cannot give tips only for Italian flour, obviously. Me, myself, I try different types of flour. My students bake using their flour. They don't order flour from Italy. It's another myth that says that for good, I don't know, panettone, pasta, Italian panettone, you need Italian flour. It has to be a strong flour for panettone, but it doesn't have to be Italian. And also, it doesn't have to be Italian for cinnamon rolls. It doesn't have to be Italian for bread. You know, my students, they don't order flour from Italy. They just bake using their own flour. Of course, it has to be good flour, like organic flour, like you don't want to waste your time using some flour. But even if you use a regular flour from supermarket, you can make a good quality bread, good quality baked good, much better than the bread from the same supermarket. You know what I mean? And we will get to this topic later. Just showing you my experience, my path from someone who never baked anything in his life and to nowadays when I teach people around the world and my students open bakeries around the world. They bake for them, for their families, and some even for others, for their customers. And it works because after I collected everything, I adopted it to the flour. I made it easy to explain and to get it. It was important for me that the recipe, the method is not too complicated. Otherwise, we will never bake. We use simple equipment and we use simple ingredients to make fantastic baked goods that can be cooked on any kitchen around the world. And the most important thing is method. And this is what I share with you. I share with my students, and they learn step by step and they get the good results. So nowadays, I'm a founder of All My Bread School, where people around the world make their own starters and bake fantastic sourdough baked goods, bread, panettone, pizza, everything. You can bake everything with sourdough starter. And you can also join me today and make your own sourdough starter and your own cinnamon rolls, panettone, or whatever you want, whatever you like. And every recipe in my school is my recipe, meaning that I keep baking it for my family. My kids, they wait for these cinnamon rolls that we will make it together. And I want to ask you before we start, do you think that, like, let's be honest, do you think it's really time consuming and this is what stops you for a while from your dream, from your sourdough baking? Beginners, also experienced bakers. What do you think? And I will share with you my own opinion on this. Can I get panettone recipe? Thank you for this question. Yes, you can get panettone recipe and video classes, video lessons that I prepared for you, and I will tell about it later on. It's not time consuming, Sophie is writing. It's not time consuming, but it's the planning that is difficult at the beginning, right? Once you learn the method and once you learn how to plan your day, incorporating baking in your schedule, then everything becomes easy. You don't have to stay with the dough while it's rising. You actually have to spend maximum 1 hour of your active time, and everything is done by itself, by nature. But you need to learn how to make it and how to incorporate it in your busy day. And I will share this information also with you today, okay? And it's more about attention. It needs our attention in the beginning, but not for long. Like to make a Sourdough starter, you know how long it takes? It takes like 5 minutes a day. Anyone, even super busy person, has 5 minutes a day. Trust me. And then once it's done, once it's ready, you don't have to spend even 5 minutes a day, but you can spend just 10 minutes a week for it. Okay? Planning. I know, I have 3 kids. I know planning is hard. And that's why I made for my students a baker's planner that's quite useful and helps you to plan your baking day. So why do we choose sourdough actually? Just to make it short, okay, there will be a little bit more theory. This is really useful, and then we move on. We will make the starter together. So just remember, why do we choose sourdough? Because it is proved by scientists that sourdough baked goods are healthier than baker's yeast goods. Much healthier. Why? Because sourdough starter is full of lactic acid bacteria, and they produce organic acids. And they, for instance, make such minerals like iron, zinc, and magnesium and others available for us, available for our body. Then, next, it's easier on our digestion. It is something that we can easily digest, even though it is full of butter, for instance. It is easier to digest. Why? Because these little microbiomes, that little microorganisms that live in here in our starter, they do the work for us. They digest the dough before we eat the product, so they do part of our job. That's why it's a lighter, easy, it is fermented. It's very simple. And there have been studies on people. Scientists were studying the guts of people who ate sourdough baked goods and guts of people who ate commercially yeast baked goods made with commercial yeast. And there is difference. There is data available on the internet where you can Google, you can check if you're interested in it. And I just give you the most important points that you can just screen save in case you will have this conversation with someone. You can always use this information where you want to explain why do you actually bake, why you would choose sourdough. So it's also easy on our weight. I mean, of course, we talk about sweet pastry. It's about pleasure first of all. It's not about like diet, but even though these baked goods are easier on weight gain, okay? But also because thanks to sourdough starter that digest the product before we digest it. It's a great source of antioxidants. It is good also because most part of the gluten in there is fermented by starter. And here is wonderful scientist Marco Gobetti, who is studying all his life sourdough starters, and you can check his studies by yourself. Okay, I joined sourdough conference a couple of years ago and met him and asked him all my questions about sourdough starters. I was so thrilled. And this year I joined a fermentation conference and I met other scientists who study fermentation. The conclusion is very easy. Fermentation is good for us. It's a friend of our gut, and we do need to add fermented goods such as sauerkraut, such as kvass, the probiotic drink, such as kombucha, such as bread, sourdough panettone, sourdough buns, and sourdough pastry, all kinds of pastry goods. Okay, how are you after this theoretical part? Are you ready for practical one? And just to remind you that we choose sourdough because it tastes fantastic and the taste is so good and so rich. It's nothing to compare with commercial products. And by the way, the thing is that you probably heard that sourdough baked goods are not good because they get, first of all, because the dough doesn't rise very well, and second, because the taste is too sour. Well, this comes from the same reason that the starter is weak. So some bakers or home bakers or professional bakers who did not dedicate that much time to study sourdough starters, they spread this information that sourdough starter gives bad rise of the dough and too sour, too acidic taste of the ready product. Well, it's not true. It just means that actually your starter is not good. It's not healthy. Before baking, you should check your starter, and I will give you some tips on how to check your starter before baking. Okay? So let's get started. Normally, we make sourdough starter from flour and water, the liquid one. And today we will make something new. We will use help of fruit yeast before we make a starter. How do we do it? The very first step of making lievito madre is making fruit water. And I will show you step by step how to make it. Okay? And what is actually lievito madre? Lievito madre is a starter where we use 100% of flour and 50% of water. So there is twice more flour than water. This is the difference from liquid starter. It's very simple, right? Let me know if it's clear for you. But what does it give? Well, it gives different environment. And different environment means that different microorganisms live there. So if we go to laboratory, and we bring our liquid starter there, and we bring our levito madre there, and we will see that different guys live there, different microorganisms, different type of lactic acid bacteria, different type of yeast. And these yeast are stronger than normal one because this kind of environment considered to be stressful for natural yeast. And that's why yeast that survive in these conditions, less liquid conditions, are stronger. And that's why they rise the sweet dough much easier. Because sweet dough full of butter, full of sugar, is harder to ferment for natural yeast. By the way, I need to turn on my oven just to make sure that my oven is ready for sourdough baking, for the cinnamon rolls baking. I just want to be sure that once we're ready, I can just put it in. So I just turn on the oven and I don't use a baking stone, just nothing, turned on 180 degrees Celsius. That's it. And we can continue. I can explain you next step on lievito madre. Can you make lievito madre from a rice sourdough starter? I don't suggest that. If you would have a wheat starter, yes, but from rice sourdough starter, lievito madre as sourdough starter is not the same. I just explained that it's not the same in terms of microorganisms that live there inside. We have different microorganisms that live here and in a liquid starter. Those ones are stronger. And it gives also a different flavor to the products. If you have a liquid one, make this one and compare it. You will see that the taste of the product will be different. Not better or worse, it will be just different. And it's easier for beginners to bake sweet products with this starter because it's better for the sweet baking, for the sweet dough. It's easier to rise using this starter. Okay? And I just explained you why, and we can move on. So, how to make the starter? What do you mean by liquid? You know, regular starter, wheat starter, is a liquid starter, right? Where it's 100% of water and 100% of flour. The classic one. And here we have 50% of water. That's why it's stiff. It looks like a dough, you know? Can I make pizza from this? Yes, you can make anything from this. Okay, let's make it. Are you ready? Do you want to make this lievito madre from scratch? By the way, I have tried recipes, trust me, even antique ones from, from families where Italian grandfather made this starter and passed it to his grandchildren. And now this lievito madre is like 100 years old. I tried it all. It's also called pasta madre. Lievito madre is another name of it. And I have to tell you, the method that I give you is a working method, and it's the shortest method, because on the internet you can find some recipes where you have to spend months for making your starter from scratch. No way. 1 week is enough. Once you have a starter, you don't have to make it again and again. You can just keep feeding it, and it will be eternal starter that you can use forever. And you don't have to spend months to making it, okay? Are you ready for the practice? Do you want to make a fruit water with me? That will be a first step to lievito madre. On the screen, you see the recipe. We will need 100 grams, more or less, of the fruit peel. And there are some nuances that I want to share with you. Nadine, yes, yes. Okay, let's move on. I see your answers. Great. I'm happy you're ready. And what is important here? That you take some organic fruit, okay? We need not processed fruit, some organic apple or grapes with this white film on the top of it. If you have you ever seen these grapes with this white film on the top of it, on the peel? This is what we need. This is our help, because at the very first step we will use help of fruit yeast, and then slowly they will leave our lievito madre when it will be ready, and their place will be taken by flour yeast. But later on the very first step, we use army of fruit yeast that will help us to kickstart the fermentation and to make our lievito madre as soon as possible, because we are busy. We don't want to waste our time. We want to make it quick, fast, and productive, right? Let's do it. Okay, so in my case, I will use apple peel. Let's switch the camera and I will show you how I make it. It's very simple actually. So here I have on the table my kitchen scale, and I have my beautiful organic apple. And don't brush the apple, don't brush the fruit. You will get rid from all the fruit yeast. Don't do that. And then just make sure you have 100 grams of the peel, more or less. And it will be the very first step to your lievito madre. And my tip here, my advice here to you, make couple of waters, because you never know if this fruit is actually a real organic one, and if there is enough fruit yeast. So just to help yourself and to be on the safe side, make couple of these waters. Make one grape water, one apple water, and one, I don't know, mango water or whatever water. And then you can choose the best one, the one that gave you bigger amount of bubbles and foam, because this is what we're looking for. We want to get as much as possible yeast in the water. And how do we know? We are not laboratory. We are not going to the scientists to check it. So we will observe the water. In 2-3 days after mixing fruit and water, we will control the jar and we want to see many bubbles and lots of foam. And in case you made like 3 waters, 3 different jars, you can choose the one that gave you the best result. Is it clear? I find it super important, you know? The way you started, the way you pay attention to this very first step will give you like the security, will give you the best result, because less attention we pay at the beginning, more problems we have afterwards. If the fruit was not organic, if there was not enough yeast on the peel, water is very weak, then the starter will grow slowly. You will get frustrated, upset, and you will think, oh, it's not for me. Okay, I will keep buying store-bought bread, or I will go to expensive bakery, and I will give up. To avoid this, make sure the very first step you make correctly and perfectly. I mean, perfectly, more or less, okay? To help yourself, make 3 what winner. You should be the best one. That will show you the best amount of bubbles and foam. So more or less, like chop it like this, then put it in the jar. Super simple. Who's saying that it's time consuming? I'm almost finished. That's it. And then I pour it with warm water, 30-35 degrees Celsius, more or less 300 grams here at this step, and only step. I don't have to be super precise, but this is the only step when I'm not precise. Afterwards, I will be precise. Once you see flour, I'm super precise. Before that, can be by eye, but at least 300 grams of water should be here, and don't exaggerate, because otherwise you'll have too much water and not enough fruits. That would be enough. Okay? And then I close it loosely and I put my jar in a warm spot. Let's switch the camera. You see? You see here I put 200 grams of water. Here I made a little bit more. But less water you have, more fermentation you will have. I'm on the risky side here. My suggestion, 100 grams of fruit and 200 grams of water to make it faster. So now I have to put it in at the warm spot, about 30 degrees Celsius, and I wait up to 3 days from this point and doing nothing. Just once a day, have a look. Do I see bubbles? Do I see foam? Can I move to the step number 3, number 2, or not? Or should I wait longer? But don't wait longer than 3 days. If your temperature of the place where you're gonna put it is warm enough, 3 days should be enough. Probably 2, even 2. Let me see your questions. The water can be tap water. Thank you for the question, Gabs. So, yes, it can be tap water in case your tap water is okay. If you know for 100% that your tap water is horrible, I don't know, you live in India, sorry, everyone who lives in India, know that your tap water is not so great. Maybe situation changed, I don't know. But when I went to India, it was forbidden to use tap water in any case. In this case, it's better to use bottled water. Otherwise, use tap water. I use tap water. I just left it outside for a bit, so everything what has to be sparish, it has to go out. It went out from my glass of water. I warm it up and I use it for my very first step. Fruit is water. Can I use banana peel? I don't know. You have to experiment. This I never tried. neither my students. So I cannot tell you 100%. I can tell for sure that this fruit is okay. Apple, grapes, mango can work. Raisins can work, but then you need more water. Dry fruits. Plum. Yes, very good idea. Pineapple. Boo. I tried to make sourdough starter using pineapple juice. It worked. It seemed to work. And then it turned out such a bad, slow starter that I would say it's not, and I tried many times. Didn't work. This is one of the Italian recipes that I don't suggest. So what do we do next? Once we see that the fruit water is bubbling, we see the foam, it looks good, we shake it and we see lots of bubbles. Perfect, we move to the next step. We have multiplied natural fruit yeast and we will use it to help us to make lievito madre. So we mix it with flour and you will find all the details in my recipe, step by step. So don't worry, you will get it in PDF file, okay, with pictures. And then on the third step, you will keep feeding your starter, but you will feed it first with fruit water, so don't trash it after first step. And you will feed it using flour. And you will slowly get to its regular proportions, 100 grams of flour, 100 grams of starter, and 50 grams of water. And then we will replace the fruit water with regular water because we will not need it anymore. The war will be won, the war of nature. We will get rid of pathogenic microorganisms that can multiply on the first step. You know, fruit mix of flour and water is not a sourdough starter. Sourdough starter is symbiosis, yeah, I think it's correct, of natural yeast and lactic acid bacteria. Friendship, natural yeast, lactic acid bacteria. And we don't need any other bacteria or any other things in our starter. That's why we wait until lactic acid bacteria produce organic acids and they prevent from multiplying other microorganisms in our mixture. You know what I mean? So we move from some crazy mix to the lievito madre sourdough starter, which is perfect, and there are only two types of microorganisms. Symbiotic relationship. Thank you. Thank you very much for your tip. Yes, natural yeast and lactic acid bacteria. Others we don't need. And this happens during the week. And once we're done, our starter is ready for baking. We check it, we test it, we make an exam, and we move to the baking process, okay? And here's a checklist, how to make a strong lievito madre. And I shared with you these little details. You know, temperature is important, fruit is important, and it should be sweet, and it should be mature fruit. It has to be full of sugar because sugar, fruit sugar, will be a food for natural yeast. You know, there are these details that are important. Is the steps and recipe card will be provided? Yes, by the end of this masterclass. So let's move on and we will get to the end and you can download it afterwards, okay? Let me read your questions. Every time you feed lievito madre, is it with this fruity water? No. Only very first step, like fruit water, we make only once. We make it only once. And then you see there is a lot. So we will use it a couple of times. Once it's finished, we use it. It helped. It helped for us. And then we don't need it anymore. We pushed it, the fermentation, and then we replace it with regular water. Is it clear? What is percentage of portion of the flour you suggest. You will see it in the recipe, okay? I don't want to get into the grams because it's not that important actually. And you will have them all written. Do you keep it as discard once you use? Discard we use only after the lievito madre is ready. Before that, it's not a lievito madre, it's not a starter, so don't use any discard, okay? Once it's ready, microbiome is healthy, you checked it, you tested, you baked with it, then all is great, we can use discard for any recipes. Where can we keep the fruit water? If your kitchen is quite cool, just leave it here on the counter. Or if it's too warm and it will be over fermented and will get some acids, then put it in the refrigerator. And before mixing with your, after the first step, you put it in the refrigerator. And then if you use it for second and third step, just warm it up a bit. Okay. What is next? How to check if it's ready? Just screen this presentation and you later on can use it to check your lievito madre if it's ready or not, okay? And if you will become today a student of mine, by the way, there is this opportunity for you. You can join my course today. Then you will see everything in the video lesson. And I will show step by step how to make lievito madre and how to check your lievito madre if it's ready. And here are also some tips how to keep the correct temperature, to keep your starter at warm temperature at the very first stage. Why is that? Because we want to quick it, we want to kickstart it, we want that the process goes on and the mixture become actually a starter. That's why we use some tips how to make a warm spot. But nowadays you can actually buy a sourdough starter home, it's called, a device where you can just put the desired temperature on and use it to warm up your starter, your lievito madre. Or you can use a home proofing box. But there are also some other tips how to make it, used by my students. It's not my personal list. It's some tips of students of mine who use their imagination, fantasy, and found some spots at your home to make it warm. Fermentation needs to be in a dark room. No. I live in tropical climate, warmer than 26, 28 degrees. Perfect. You don't need then anything. Good. Where is the link to join your class? Wait a second. I know you're waiting for it. And I'm very thrilled to present it to you, but wait a second. So just 1 second of motivation. Just remember, anytime you feel like, oh, maybe it's too complicated, or I will never manage, it is super easy and it is explained step by step by me. And it's not just some recipe, it's recipe that's been proved by people around the world and it works. You will also manage, trust me. So today, as I said before, I would like to invite you to join my pastry course. Not just some pastry, but sweet sourdough pastry course. And you can bake all these fantastic baked goods using Lievito Madre. You can learn how to make cinnamon rolls that we will bake together today later. You can bake chocolate babka, fantastic. And panettone, Italian Christmas cake. You know, it melts in your mouth and it is just perfect. And not only. So, I will tell you the program. First, you make step by step with me, Lievito Madre, and there is a lesson dedicated to every single step. feeding and maintaining, and how to check it, how to examine it before baking, and also different types of maintaining in the fridge, in the sacco, in the different water. And also you will learn pan brioche, the sweet bread. It's not actually that sweet, it's really balanced, that it can be used also for savory toasts, for instance. You learn how to make challah with sesame seeds, and also cardamom twisted buns, and also chocolate babka, and also cinnamon rolls, and also brioche buns, and also panettone, but not just one panettone, but also panettone with chocolate and glaze. And also you will learn how to make donuts, bambaloni or ciambella in Italiano, and cantucci using discard, okay? And that's not all. You will also have some recipes, sweet recipes, like merengue and also almond pear tart, and many, many others. Also, panettone recipe includes candied orange peels, and I wanted to share them with you, to share the recipe with you, home recipe. These candied fruits from the store, sometimes they're so horrible. And recipe is actually not complicated at all. You can make it from scratch at home, and it will be just a fantastic panettone, or you can just eat them like this. Also cream recipes, and also French toast recipe. How to use this pan brioche after a while, but trust me, it will just disappear from the table. No leftovers. And I will show you now packages. So if you want to learn how to make lievito madre from scratch, cinnamon rolls, pan brioche, twisted buns, chocolate babka, challah, and bambaloni donuts, then there is one option for you. But if you want to learn how to make lievito madre, two types of panettone, chocolate glazed panettone and Milanese basso panettone with candied fruits, and also brioche sweet soft buns, then there is another option for you. And also you are getting all these bonuses in the second option, and there is this situation, you see? So sweet sourdough classics, brioche and panettone, and extra bonuses. And it is perfect for beginners, and it's good for people who have tried already baking sourdough bread, and for those who are advanced bakers. It's good for any level. You will reach your level studying using my workshop. And it is also good for beginners. You know why? Because from one dough you can make different type of products. It's not that, oh my God, now I have to learn everything and it's overwhelming. The program is so made for people who are busy, who have busy schedule, that you can, once you learn how to make this dough, you can learn different shaping techniques and make from this dough all this challah and twisted buns and cinnamon rolls. You will see that it's actually quite convenient and useful. So you don't have to learn to make 12 different doughs. You make one dough and then you learn different type of techniques, of shaping techniques. And here we go. You can choose the option which is convenient for you. You can use classic sweet pastries, you can use brioche and panettone option, or you can use all in one. You can learn from all in one. You can choose the option where you can learn everything. Pan brioche and challah and twisted buns and cinnamon rolls and everything, including 2 types of panettone and all extra bonuses. Okay? Depending on your how you feel, what do you like actually to eat, what do you like to learn. And by the way, today you are getting 60% of discount just for you, just for students of this masterclass, because you are already motivated, you know everything about Lievito Madre, you are ready to go. I give you a super good offer, and you can learn sweet sourdough pastry with a good discount of 60%. So today you can choose classic sweet pastries for $127 only. And there is a second option, you see, and there is all in with a very good discount just for $177. And there is extra $10 discount for any pack if you're ready to become a student right now. And here we go. You will see now the button. Just press it, the green button under the video, and you can choose the plan that is good for you, that is convenient for you, that is the one that you were looking for, and you can join me today. Also, you can choose a monthly payment, and you can pay every month, and then the amount is really convenient. You can compare prices, and I give you some time to make your choice. If you have any question, just ask me. Here we go, and this extra $10 discount is only for next 15 minutes. So hurry up and choose your plan. When it says 3 months, is it membership to video or do classes meet live? No, it's all pre-recorded lessons. Let me show you what is inside. Let me show you. It's a good question. Are there live classes? Let me show you the platform where you will study. It's really convenient because it is not live classes. It is pre-recorded lessons. And you can watch and rewatch it anytime using your phone or any other device. So here we have Lievito Madre, how to make it. Fruit yeast water, this is what we made today. Then mixing, the next step. We mix flour and water, yeast water. Here we go. I explain everything in detail. And I show you how to move to the next step. And then after it's ready, I explain you how to test it, how to make an exam to your Lievito Madre, to make sure it's healthy, it's good, it's strong, so you can bake. You see? I explain everything in my video lessons, and then what is next? Every single baked good is here in your course, but of course, depending on the plan that you choose, okay? Also, hot cross buns for the Easter, and sourdough brioche buns, and cardamom rolls, and pan brioche, and cinnamon rolls, and panettone, and all fantastic pastry goods. And some of them are still not here yet, but we will add them because they're new. You will have them all. This is how it looks. Let's check panettone. Oh, look at this fantastic panettone.
You can also add.
You see, this is how it looks before baking. I explain everything, how to make it, blah, blah, blah. And then baking. You can bake your own Italian panettone for Christmas. Look at this. Explain every single thing, glaze, everything you need to know. And I just got it out from the oven and I do this step to make sure that it goes head down to stabilize. It's very tender crumb. You can bake it using your home oven. Looks fantastic. Let me show you inside. I love watching my lessons too. The connection is not great. Here we go. Look at this result. This is what you get if your fermentation is good, if your starter is healthy. Look, so good. Let's get back to the presentation. So I show you different packages that you can choose. We have classic sweet pastry, we have brioche and panettone, and then we have all in one. You see? So you still have 15 minutes, like less than 15 minutes to get extra discount. So use it. And this is the plan. So in the very first sweet pastry option plan, you get Italian starter, lievito madre, you get pan brioche, cardamom twist buns, chocolate babka, cinnamon rolls with mascarpone cream, challah, and donuts. And then in the second option, you have panettone, two types of panettone, if you want to learn just panettone, and brioche buns. And also all in, all the bonuses you get here, and you get all the program, all sweet enriched program. Trust me, after this, you don't need any other course. You will have everything you need to learn about sourdough sweet baking. Do you have a book too? Not yet. Okay, let me know if you are ready to move on or you need more time to choose your plan. You can also choose a monthly payment, then you will pay by month by month. And we have a second part of our masterclass, and I will now work with the dough and we will bake cinnamon rolls. Okay? Please do a book. Okay. Thank you for the motivation. I will. All the materials will last forever. No, for three, you have access for 3 months. For, you see here, you have 3 months for classic sweet pastries. You have 3 months for brioche and panettone, and you have 6 months for all in one. And it's enough, trust me. And as I said, all the products is one dough except of brioche buns and panettone. Okay? So you will manage. It seems a lot, but this variety is beautiful variety that you can do because Once you learn how to make this dough, you will learn how to make everything. Okay? Can you do troubleshoot? Yeah, there will be troubleshoot. There will be troubleshoot in the course. Of course, you might have some questions, and we will answer all the questions. Any more questions about the course, about sweet sourdough workshop, sweet sourdough pastry workshop? Do you need help to choose the one that you prefer? For panettone, we need a special fridge or something? No, fridge is the same, oven is the same. For panettone, I suggest to have a mixer. It's not the easiest product to mix by hand. All the rest you can mix by hand. Panettone, I had students who did it by hand, but it's something that lasts long. But trust me, it's really like worth it, because real panettone, it's actually even hard to find in Italy, the real panettone of high quality, made with lievito madre only. And you can make it. Okay, have signed up for the all-in course. Yeah, I'm very happy. See you on my classes. I'm sure you will enjoy, Linda. I'm happy. Thank you for writing. Who else? You can download all the recipes as a beautiful PDF file that you can print from the course. If you really want to have something, material, then every single recipe is there with pictures, every details, not just pre-recorded video lesson, but also PDF file that you can download and keep forever. Also print it, make your own book, I also took all in one. Looking forward. Yay! Fantastic. In your classes, we have a forum or chat. Yeah, we do have chat. If you want to join the chat, write to our support team, and you can also join the chat. Me too. Great. Should we bake our cinnamon rolls? I have a dough that is waiting. Let's move on, okay? Even though if you're a student of mine, you will have all the video lessons available to you, so you don't need to rush. You will have everything. So you can still press the button, join now, the green button under the video, and join my course. You will just fill the simple form and you will become a student of mine with a very good discount of 60%. Just for you, just today. Once we're finished, the discount will disappear. So it's a good offer just for those who join my masterclass. So I wanted to encourage you showing the works of my students. You see the cinnamon rolls that baked students of mine who never baked before, and they look fantastic. And you will also be able to bake them. Look at another one. How yummy it looks. It's really good work. I'm really proud of my students. And we will make cinnamon rolls right now. So check all the steps. And 2 steps we made already today. We made lievito madre, and then we moved to the dough. And I prepared the dough. Once we make the dough, we add all the ingredients that you will get from the recipe. We wait until the dough is ready. for shaping. So we leave it for bulk fermentation. And now we will move to the step of shaping. And then we will move to the step of final proofing. And then we will bake cinnamon rolls. And now I have the oven ready. Are you ready? You must be tired already, no? But let's get more let's get enthusiastic and let's bake it. I know it's hard to put all the information in one practical masterclass, but I do my best to show you as more practice as I can. And by the way, what do we need for baking? Actually, nothing. You know, if for bread and pizza we need a baking stone, here we don't have it. We don't have to buy it either. We just need a kitchen scale. We need a thermometer to control the dough temperature, which is really helpful. And we need some regular things that every kitchen has. And simple ingredients that you can get from the store. Exception maybe is panettone, where you need to get a mold, you need to find like candied fruits if you don't want to make them homemade. That you can actually, because you have this recipe. Like, you know, you can choose. You can choose what is more convenient for you, but also even for panettone, you can find everything easily. And in my course, you will get links to the ingredients where you can just get it. It's not hard to find. It's something that you can buy anywhere online, like on Amazon. So you will get links and you will buy everything. But most of the products you can buy just on this in the store next to your next to your home on the corner. Do we get the recipe of the dough? Yes, by the end of the masterclass, you will get the recipe of the dough. But if you're a student of mine, you don't need a recipe, you will get it from the course. And let's make the shaping part, the shaping step, okay? Shape the dough, step number 5, all right? So let's get practical. Are you ready? Let's do it. Let's switch the camera. And here I have the dough. And let's do it. You see how fermented and beautiful it is. It's really good looking dough, and it's not sticky. This also shows me that it's ready for shaping. This is how you will analyze your dough. And I have a lesson dedicated to it in my workshop. So if you're a student, you don't need to like write down things and concentrate, because you will just have everything on your platform and you can watch and re-watch it. So this is how I work with it. I just make sure I have a rectangular shaped dough with same thickness all the way. This is how I do it. Just roll it out with your rolling pin. Work more convenient with it. Like feel confident while you, but just make sure that you don't push too hard and you don't destroy it. Here we go. My beautiful, wonderful dough. And then what I do, once I get it more or less like 30 centimeters per 40 centimeters or 40-50, doesn't really matter here. Don't have to be perfect. But what is perfect is the same thickness of the layer of the dough. That would be good. And make sure it is rectangular. Let me close the door. And you see, if here, another tip for you, if you see that you roll it out, but it gets back, like this, like in cartoons, like you stretch it and it goes back, like this, and gets smaller. That means your dough is not fermented enough, and you probably are shaping it too early. That would be a sign of under fermentation in your case. But no worries, just give it more time during the final proof. Okay, here we go. And don't over ferment your dough. Don't over ferment your lievito madre before making the dough. Otherwise, you will get sour taste of your buns. And you see that I don't really use a lot of flour here, but if your dough sticks too much, just use some flour on your rolling pin or on your dough and just roll it out like this. On the other side, and make sure that it has a nice even thickness, that the layer of your dough has the same thickness. You see? Any question here? Or you will check everything on the lesson that you can find on my workshop, in my workshop. Here we go. This is how it looks. It's quite good already. Don't get it too perfect. No need. Looks good. Here we go. And now I will use melted butter. Not melted, but like soft butter, softened butter. But in my case, it is a little bit still hard. You see, it's still not soft enough, and it's hard to spread it on the dough. But just give it more time, or you can warm it up a little bit. But if it will be too liquidy, it's also not good, because then it will be like it will be hard to roll it afterwards, because it will just spread out from the dough. So it has to be something in the middle, okay? And make sure your hands are clean. Obviously, work with your hands, but I don't use gloves, you know. There is no need for gloves, because you bake it for yourself. Just wash your hands, make sure they are clean hands, and use butter. And you have to butter everything, but leaving 2 centimeters part on the edge of your dough. Like here, you just leave 2 centimeters, okay? Here we go. Looks good, actually. Just butter everything. You will get all the grams in my exact measurements in my recipe, so no worries right now. Just show you how to make it. Here we go. Okay, we are ready here. It's all buttered. Use a good butter, high quality butter, to make a beautiful homemade sourdough buns. Isn't it fantastic? And then what you do, you use mix of brown sugar, you know, this healthier sugar, not white one, and cinnamon. Here we go. And mix it before spreading on the top of the dough. And you can cut this amount. No need to use everything. You can cut sugar from the filling at this step, and you can also cut sugar from the cream. No need to use all this sugar. I used classic measurements, but if you want cut sugar, don't cut it from the dough, cut it from the fillings, because dough is not that sweet. It's very balanced already. Any questions here? No questions. Okay. And you spread it like this. You see, it's quite simple, and you can make it. Even if you never baked before, you will manage. Trust me. And I don't use this too much, it's enough. Here we go. Smells fantastic already. And looks good. And then what I do, I just roll. And I start rolling from the longer side to another long side. And I will close the seam over here. That's why I left this part untouched. I didn't put any butter there. And I start to roll. And don't roll too hard, like don't make it too tight, because if you make it too tight, it will untie during baking. Make it loosely, just like this. And you see, I don't use any flour here either. It's all great, works well. Here we go. Ta-da! And I press a bit to make sure I close the seam, which is here, you see? Looking good. And now what I do, I just divide it. And this is the way I divide it. Let me turn it around so you can see it better. Just get rid of extra sugar on the counter and press it on the side. And how to divide it? Here is my tip. Just divide it in two, like this. And then again in two, like that. And then again in three or two, depending on your preference, depending how tall you want them, depending how big your tray is. Let's say I will divide it by two. They will be quite thick. Normally I divide them by three. So in total I get 12. And here we go. They're so cute. Looking good, no? Lovely. And what is next? The next is final proof. But we don't waste our time. We're here on the masterclass, so we don't wait for an hour or longer because we want to bake them during this live. And let me show you the result of the final proofing. Ta-da! Well, look at this. Look how bigger they are. Fluffy, full of air, so delicate. Look, this is how they look before baking. This is how they should look before baking. They were like this, and this is the result. You see? Before final proof, after final proof. Any questions here? Let me move these little beauty ones from the counter. Let me clean the counter a bit. And what is next? We are ready for baking. And we are ready to egg wash our cinnamon rolls. How do we do that? We use egg. I use full egg. I add a pinch of salt. And now I'll need a brush. Let me find my brush. Ask me any questions if you have any. Does it change the total amount of bake time if you cut them thinner? Well, smaller they are, faster will be the baking. But the most important thing that influences baking time is the tray. If it is a thin metallic tray, it will take less time to bake it. If it is ceramic one like mine, it will take longer. Very simple. You can also use a regular oven tray, metallic one, and you can just place them next to each other, but with big space between them, and then they will have a round shape. In my case, you see they are getting like square shape, let's say. This happens because before they were far away from each other, they were quite small, and now they are huge. They are really fluffy, they're big, and they took all the space, and now they touch each other and they become kind of square. If you want to get round shape ones, just place them on the metallic tray far away from each other. This is how you do it. Just egg, or you can use also yolk with milk, or you can use egg with milk. More yolk you have in your egg wash and your glaze, more dark will be like darker will be the result. Yolk gives a darker result of the glaze. And here we go. We're ready for baking. Let's switch the camera. I'm ready to place them in the oven. You see, it was quite quick, but we kept the final proof time, right? We did not let it to final proofing. So we switch the camera, and what I have to do now, I just place it into the oven. Do you see how beautiful they are? They already look fantastic. They also smell fantastic. And what I do, I just place them in. I use static mode. It's also depending on your, I place them in the middle, and it also depends on your oven. I would lower the temperature afterwards because my oven is heating quite well on the top, but you have to find your own temperature. I would say more or less it will take half an hour to bake them. Let's see. I will show you what will going on, like in 15 minutes and 20 minutes. Let's see what's going on. And the very last step will be cream, mascarpone cream. Beautifully fluffy. Yes, I love them. They look so good. But also these ones, they look so yummy already. I love the dough. This is how it looks now. Smells fantastic. But those that we made together today, they need final proof time. So I will use another tray. I will place it there. I will leave it, and I will let them rise and become at least twice bigger than before, straight after the shaping. Let's get back to the presentation. And now we have time to talk more about dough preparation, and I have more time to answer your questions before we check the result that is in the oven. So here we go. We made step number 5. We skipped the step number 6, and we moved to the step number 7. We preheated the oven, and then we move to the step number 8 and we bake them. Okay. What's the last final proof before baking? Well, it's the step when your bun is rising, is the gluten is relaxing, and it's rising before baking. And we do not do nothing, we just leave it and we wait until it will proof by itself. Let me see your questions. How long does the dough need to rise before baking? I answered to this question. Where can I purchase your recipes? Just press the button right now under this video, the green button, join now, and you can join my workshop where you can find all the recipes, and also not just recipes. You will find video lessons that were pre-recorded with 3 cameras for your convenience, and I explain everything in the detail. Every single step of dough making, of shaping is filmed for you, so you can learn with comfort without stress, and you can manage to bake it. And it's such a good course for the beginners and for those who bake bread already, because I see results of my students, and it's fantastic because everything is explained in detail, and there is no complicated things when once everything is explained, right? And for me, it was important that people can learn easily without suffering, without stressing out. Oh, didn't like I did so much work and I got these expensive ingredients like butter and it didn't work out. And it's so upsetting and stressful. I know it. That's why I made this course that people can avoid this unpleasant experience and bake with pleasure. That was my mission, and I'm happy that I managed to make such a workshop for you. So, what about pastry dough? Do you need any tips on it? You can just screen it and save it, but actually it's very easy. To make a good dough, you need a good, strong starter. As I said before in the beginning, lievito madre is the starter that rises dough quite good, quite fast. You just make sure that it is a good starter. Test your starter before baking. Then make sure that you control the dough temperature and it's not too low, because especially enriched sweet dough needs a good temperature, 25-26 degrees Celsius, not lower. If it is lower, put it in a warm spot. If it's lower after mixing, put it in a warm spot. Do you have a video how to make the dough? Yes, I do have a video in my course. You can join it pressing the button join now, and you can learn it from me. And you can get also for free today the recipe of mine by the end of this masterclass. But the recipe is just PDF, and in my course you get video on every step of dough making and shaping and baking. And if you're a beginner, I would recommend these things. I would recommend to stick with one recipe and to make it until you get a good result. And please do buy the thermometer. That really works. That really something that helps you to control the temperature, control the fermentation, and incorporate the process to your busy schedule. And it won't be time consuming once you understand the process. And understand the process, you can only know in the dough temperature. This is my tip from all my heart to you. This is something that keeps you from stress while baking. And I know that baking can be stressful. Trust me. I had my own personal experience with that. What else? What else can I share with you while baking my beautiful cinnamon rolls? Let's see. So we don't bake cinnamon rolls in a Dutch oven like we bake bread. No, no need. No need. A regular tray or ceramic tray, any kind of tray that is okay for oven, and no need for Dutch oven, no need for baking stove. What is important is actually the method how to make this dough, how to add ingredients in this dough. And this you can learn from my course, because sweet dough is not a bread dough, and you have to know how to make it. You have to add ingredients in a right um, moment. Because, for instance, if you add butter straight away with flour, with milk and sourdough starter, it won't be the same dough. You won't get this elasticity. It will be hard to create a gluten framework, because what is butter? Is a fat, and fat is not a friend of gluten. And to get elasticity and fluffy result, and this beautiful fluffy rice that you saw before I put my cinnamon rolls into the oven, you have to be careful with gluten. And butter should go by the end of the mixing. This is my secret, and secret of every baker who understand the dough making process. And experienced bakers who join me today will agree with me that it is super important to add the butter only by the end of the mixing. And also, we don't just add it by the end of mixing, but also we add it little by little. And I show everything in detail in my course. If you want to learn how to make bread from me and pizza from me, you can join my other courses. But this starter is a starter that you can use for bread making. Why not? You can. And today I want to invite you to Sweet Pastry Sourdough workshop. You can join it today. You can become a student of mine, and you can learn all the details, how to make this dough, how to shape these buns, how to make panettone. We are in Italy. We can't live without panettone, but it's so hard to find a good one. I do it myself, and I can say you can also do it yourself. You can also, if you're a professional baker, you can learn it and you can bake it for customers. A real Italian panettone. I would like to take one course, but wanted recipes for other things. Well, I would say recipes is not something you should buy, honestly. You can get them for free, because a recipe is just ingredient list, and the method you can get only from the course, from the real person, not ChatGPT, with real experience in baking. So in my course that you can join today, you can learn how to make lievito madre starter from scratch. And there is a lesson, video lesson, not live, but video lesson that was pre-recorded for you, dedicated to each step of starter making. And then once you make your starter, you can use it for any goods from this course. And you can learn pan brioche, challah with sesame seeds. And it is universal, like one dough that you can use for any products. Okay, you have to master one dough, and then you learn how to shape different type of products. cardamom twisted rolls, so good with syrup, fantastic. My children love them so much. And chocolate babka. It looks difficult, all this twist, but it is so easy to make. I really enjoy making it, and also my kids enjoy making it. And then cinnamon rolls, those that we are baking today. And then brioche buns. This is another dough, completely another dough. And people, my students who tried them, they just don't want to bake any other buns because they are so good. And then there is panettone, classico milanese, basso with candied fruits, and the tall one with glaze and chocolate inside. Also donuts with vanilla cream and cantucci with the discard. Inshallah, also sourdough. Everything is sourdough. I don't bake without sourdough. Sourdough only. Lievito madre. In this course, we use lievito madre starter, which is also sourdough starter. Can we ask questions during the course, or if something we think doesn't go, if something doesn't go right? Sure, you have a troubleshooting part where you can find the answer to your question easily. We also have chat of our students. Together, you have to write to support. And what else? We have bonuses here. Almond pear tart and miringa. It's so good, so easy to make. And also candied fruit, candied orange peels that you make at home using simple ingredients, and you will use it for panettone. And also all kind of custard cream and mascarpone cream and chocolate cream, all creams that are included in the course. Also, don't forget hot cross buns for the Easter and French toast. So choose your package, choose your plan that is calling for you. Lievito madre, cinnamon rolls, pan brioche, twisted buns with cardamom, babka with chocolate, challah, and donuts is one classic sweet pastry. And then there is another option, lievito madre, the starter, two types of panettone, panettone basso and panettone chocolate panettone with glaze, fantastic one, and brioche buns. The second option. And another option, all in, that includes all these bonuses that you see on the screen. So you can choose one of these, and it's course for you if you bake nothing at all before, and this course is for you if you have tried to bake bread, and this course is for you if you want to learn advanced baked goods like panettone, if you're an experienced baker. So choose the one that you love the most, and you can see the panettone that was baked by the person who never baked before. You can make it too. Looks good, this panettone, no? You get your platform access and you get all the lessons pre-recorded for you. And here are plans. So classic sweet pastry, brioche and panettone, and all in one. And here, while our masterclass is not over yet, you can get 60% discount. Once it's over, discount is also over. I don't have time to start now. Newly busy single mom. Oh, congratulations for being mom. But would love to take the all-in-one in the future. Oh, you know what you can do? You can actually buy it now with the discount. To not lose the 60% discount, you can buy it now and then you can freeze it. But then you have to write to our support team, and then they will help you. Okay. Here we go. We need just simple bread flour or Manitoba. You need just simple, good flour. Also, all-purpose flour is good for most part of the recipes, but for panettone, is better Manitoba. So you can choose, or you pay everything today and you get 60% of discount, or you pay monthly and you also get a discount. It's really convenient, and this is something you can learn, and this skill you will have forever. So just press the button, join now, and you can choose what you prefer. So let's check now cinnamon rolls while you're choosing the blend. Let's see what's going on here, if they are ready. Look at this, fantastic. Oh my God. Look, they're running out from the tray. Smells so good. Not ready yet, by the way. I just wanted to show you. Okay. Any questions? Do you need help? Do you have any questions about the course? Wow. Thank you. Yes, I'm also impressed. They look so good. Do you pour cream over while baking? No, it's the next step. It's the next step. So if you have any troubles, just write to our support team. And we are about to finish our master class. Let's wait until they are ready, and then I will use the cream. And I'm not a, how you say, pastry chef, so I'm a baker. So that's why I use creams only that are easy to make from simple ingredients, like you just mix in, it's ready, done, and it's so good. So here I have mascarpone cream, butter, and you can add sugar. If you don't want too much sugar, just skip the sugar, okay? It has enough sugar, right? So I just mix everything. Let's switch the camera so I show you what I'm actually doing right now. I'm preparing the cream. You will get the recipe of the cream and of the cinnamon rolls and of the starter. And if you want all the method, how to make this dough and all the recipes, and also how to learn the panettone, just join my course and you will learn how to bake sweet pastry using sourdough starter. Here's my cream. This is the consistency of my cream. It can be more liquid, but I like it like this. And it's very easy to make. Just butter, mascarpone cheese, and you can add sugar, or you can add a little bit of milk to make it more liquid. Here we go. Let's switch the camera. Let's get back to the presentation. So we are about to finish. I want to see my new students who joined my course today with a very good discount, who is going to bake such a great sweet pastry that is good on your stomach, that is good for your figure, that is good for your health. Isn't it fantastic? Of course, you have to also, not eat just sweets, right? This is a sweet pastry, even though it is with sourdough, but it is so much healthier than regular one, than the one from the store. The ingredient list is just horrible. I joined also. Yay! Hello. Hi, new students. I'm happy. Joining tomorrow. Make sure you book your spot, okay? Because discount is only for today. Just telling you. I did. Fantastic. I want to know how often and how much to feed the starter as well. Okay, I think it's time for bonus recipes. What do you think? Students, don't worry, you will get every single recipe. But those who are free listeners, you can download it now. We will make a button with bonus recipes and you can download it. You were very patient, you were with me all these 2 hours, and of course, you deserve a gift. I give you the recipe of David Madre and cinnamon rolls. Just press the button bonuses and you can download them. Hello, hello. Do you hear me? Do you see me? I joined. I'm very excited. Mimi is writing. I'm so happy. Trust me, you will never regret because this dough that we use for cinnamon rolls, pan brioche, twisted buns, challah, all the recipes from the course is one dough. Once you learn it, you will make all these products. It's a matter of shaping, and I show it in detail how to shape them. And panettone is another dough, obviously, and you can also learn it. And panettone technique, Italian antique technique, is so well known and it is so well practiced and experienced that every single step is so detailed explained. So there is no way you will not make it. It will be good. Yeah, maybe from the first time it will be not so like fun, ideal, perfect, but it will be very good. It will taste good. The flavor will be fantastic. Nothing that you can find in the store. It's nothing to compare. It's completely different product. The panettone that you make with your hands using lievito madre is completely different product from what comparing to the one that you buy. If you ever tried it. And here I wanted to share with you how I incorporate baking it on my busy schedule of my day. You can just screen it if you are curious. How do I bake? When I make my levain, my lievito madre, when I shape the dough. You can check all of this by yourself. And let's check cinnamon rolls. They are ready, I think. Let's check. And we have to put cream on. They are looking amazing. I don't know, this looks fantastic. I'm so happy today. They look so great. That means the starter works well, that I made the right dough. I didn't do any mistake. I didn't add butter too quickly. I used all my tips and it worked. Who says that dough using Levito Madre doesn't rise? Like, it's not true. It's completely wrong. And also the taste is fantastic. So let's switch the camera because I want to show it closer to you. And I want to put cream on. Now it's time. And cream is something that doesn't need to be baked. That's why we just put it on and we enjoy the flavor and we enjoy this beautiful, beautiful bun. Just like this. Just spread it all over. Using brush or spoon, doesn't matter. It looks so good. or you can use cream just on the plate. Once I touch them, I feel like how fluffy they are, how tender they are. Put the cream and wait until it will suck in. And you see, the amount of the dough was not that big. You saw the dough that we shaped together. And look how big is the result. This is all air, because every single bun is full of air. Is full of air. Why? Because we used a right shaping technique. We used a right starter, strong starter, and we mixed the dough properly. That's why the gluten framework is very strong, and the air that microorganisms lactic acid, bacteria, and yeast produce is held well by the gluten framework. Well, to make it easier, the dough was good, and that's why it's so fluffy and beautiful, the result. And how to understand that this is a good product? It has to have volume, it has to have air inside. That's how we get this tenderness and this beautiful crumb and softness. And it is also easier on the digestion, not just because of sourdough starter, but also because of the right dough. And more air is inside, easier it is for our stomach. And if the result is not that great, you'll get dense result. Okay, dense, hard. And this is not our case. You see, the result is quite good, and the volume, the size of the bun is quite big because of the air, not because of the dough. This is the dough amount we have here. You see, you can compare. It's not the dough, it's the air, and it's really good. Let me get one bun straight away. Look at this beauty. Let's switch the camera. Let's switch the camera. Look. Here we go. Feels so good. Fantastico. Look at this fluffiness. Do you see? You can also bake it. It's so good. Fantastic. So we are about to finish. This is the raw one, just to compare, and this is the baked one. Let's get back to the presentation. And I hope I inspired you. And I hope you will also bake your healthy, beautiful sourdough cinnamon rolls and also other pastry baked goods. Join my course. And I hope to see you all at my workshop. And on Instagram, tag me. I want to see your result. Either you're a student of mine or not, I want to see your result. Okay? Share it with me, please. And there is still an opportunity for you to join the course with the discount. Just press the button under the video, join now, and use this beautiful offer. Thank you, everyone. I really enjoyed staying with you. Thank you for your beautiful questions. They really motivated me, and they were well done made, because you asked those questions that help everyone to understand the object better, the subject better, and it was really helpful. I felt that you were very active and you helped me to explain everything I could during this masterclass on sweet pastry sourdough baking. Grazie mille. Thank you, everyone. And see you.